amazing Howard Sherman. You know who he is. You know you love him. How was your con so far, sir?
I've had a great time.
Thank you for taking a couple minutes out of your day to talk to us.
Sure.
So one of my main questions for you today is, what do you think of the zombie culture that has been built off of your character Bub? What do you think about it?
Well, I don't know that my character Bub had all that much to do with all of this. This is all about The Walking Dead. I think it's become so good because The Walking Dead is such a good show. Unlike so much of what is created in this genre, in the horror, it's well written, it's well acted, it's well shot. There's an emotional, moral heart to it. It's about something. So much of what's created in this genre is basically just gratuitous crap, and it's just about exploding guts and not much else. Generally, the scripts aren't very good and the acting isn't very good. So the reason why it's such a big thing is because somebody's doing it really right, and you don't have to be a zombie freak to appreciate the show because the show is so good.
Is there any, speaking of, the horror genre now, is there any newer horror films that you really like? Or for the most part, it's kind of,
I don't see that many horror films because they're so often disappointing. I mean, they start off with a great 20 minutes, a really interesting premise, but then, the hard part is figuring out the arc of the whole story. You got to burn out some brain cells to do that right, and so often that's not what happens, and they end up just turning stupid. So unless a film, life is too short to waste my time watching bad movies.
You hear that, kids? Don't watch bad movies. He knows what he's talking about. So speaking of bad movies or things is there anything in life when you were a child that terrified you? Any childhood fears that inspire you or?
Well, a movie I saw, my dad and I kind of had a ritual when I was a kid. I lived in Tucson, Arizona, and every Friday or Saturday night, my dad and I would go to the Apache Drive-In Theater and see a horror movie. And I remember I was about 9 years old, and there was a movie called The Invisible Invaders. And these were like invisible aliens that came to the earth. And they would kill a person but then inhabit his body so you wouldn't know that he was actually dead. It's sort of like zombies, but he wouldn't be dead. He would just be inhabited by this alien. And then every once in a while an alien would leave a person's body and the person would just flop over, and then you'd see these invisible footprints in the sand. And I remember that just captivated my imagination when I was 9 years old. I thought about it all the time for months,
See, I'm gonna have to check that out. I don't know anything about that one, but that sounds really...
Probably a terrible movie.
But that's okay.
But I loved it when I was 9.
Well, thank you so much for your time today,
My
sir.
pleasure.
And you've enjoyed the con, obviously.
Oh, very much so. These people really know how to do it right. These Walker Stalker people.
Well, thank you again, sir, for the time. I really appreciate it. Thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much. Legend!